Kanye West was right. This is his 12-year-old daughter, Northwest, with Kim Kardashian. She's 12. Look at what she's wearing.
Kanye West once swore on God that Kris Jenner would never drag his daughter North into the same type of Playboy-styled spotlight that helped build the Kardashian empire. But after North's latest appearance in Rome, Kanye is fuming, and fans are starting to whisper that his nightmare might actually be playing out in real time. The drama popped off the second Kim and North stepped out for a dinner in Rome. Cameras went wild as North showed up rocking a black corset-style top, long blue braids spilling down her back, and massive platform boots. The whole look screamed runway instead of middle school vibes, and that's what set the internet on fire. People couldn't stop debating whether the outfit was too grown for her age, and shockingly, many found themselves agreeing with Kanye on this one.
Comments flooded social media. Why is a 12-year-old wearing a bustier? She's literally a kid. Let her be a kid. The backlash was instant, and people kept stressing that kids in the spotlight deserve childhood too. One fan even said, "At 12 years old, I didn't look anything like that," showing how different this new era of celebrity kids feels compared to back then.
But it didn't stop at the outfit. Critics started pointing fingers at Kim herself, saying she's letting North dress grown because Kim's own star power is fading. And now she's using her daughter to keep the cameras flashing. And then the comparisons rolled in. Throwback photos of Kylie Jenner at the same age started resurfacing, already wearing makeup, posing like an adult, and getting tied into the cosmetics industry before she was even officially old enough. For a lot of people, North's outfits felt like deja vu, and they warned that this storyline already played out once in the family, and it didn't end well. Now here's where it gets even messier. Once North got pulled into the spotlight, Kanye's name came storming back into the drama. Fans started recalling how Ye had been begging the public to pay attention years ago when he warned that Hollywood would try to push his daughter into the same image that built the Kardashian empire. And let's not forget, this clash between Kim and Kanye isn't just about parenting style, it's also about power. Kanye has publicly called out Kim before for letting their daughter be on TikTok, saying it was way too grown, while Kim defended it as harmless fun. The Rome appearance only added more fuel, making Ye's old words sound prophetic, and sparking louder questions about whether North is being pushed into the industry too soon. Kanye has been going off about Kim's parenting ever since their split, and this right here is the nightmare he swore would never happen. Back in 2020, during those explosive Twitter meltdowns, he warned everyone. He said, "I put my life on God that North's mom would never photograph her doing Playboy." That wasn't just a rant, it was a vow. He was furious at how the Kardashian household was shaping his kids and made it clear he wasn't going to sit back and watch history repeat itself. Kanye even dragged Kris Jenner into it directly, accusing her of being the mastermind. In his eyes, Kris pushed Kim into Playboy, then set Kylie up on the same path.
Hello? Hey, I just got a call from Playboy.
To Kanye, this wasn't just a one-time mistake. It was a family pattern, a machine that lived off turning daughters into commodities, and he made sure everyone knew North would not be next in line, at least not on his watch. But here's the thing. 2020 was peak Kanye meltdown season. He went from warning tweets to comparing his marriage to the movie Get Out. He said he felt trapped, controlled, and surrounded by people trying to use him and his kids as pawns for the brand. He even tweeted that Kim tried to fly doctors out to Wyoming to lock him up, just like the movie scene where the character is tricked and trapped. In his own words, "They were trying to lock me up because I cried about saving my daughters." Then he flat out claimed Get Out was written about him. And if you've ever seen Get Out, you know how chilling that comparison is. It's about a black man meeting his white girlfriend's family, only to find out they lure black people in and use them for sinister experiments. Wild, right? But in Kanye's mind, that was exactly what was happening with the Kardashians. The family was built like a horror machine, running on image, money, and control, and he saw himself as the one trying to break the cycle. The tweets came one after another. "I put my life on God that North's mom would never photograph her doing Playboy." And that's on God. I put my life on the line for my children that North's mother would never sell her. Those words hit different now that North is stepping into the spotlight, dressed way more grown than fans are comfortable with. People are rereading those old tweets and saying maybe Kanye wasn't just ranting, maybe he was warning us. Kanye wasn't just sounding off about Playboy. He was heated about his kids' schooling too. He swore that Kim and her mom were deciding everything against his will, even down to where his children learned every day. He wanted them at his own Donda Academy, a private school he created so he could control the vibe, the lessons, and the people around his kids. In his mind, that was the only way to keep them safe from the Kardashian machine. And Kanye didn't just rant to the world. He went straight to Kris Jenner with one of the bluntest texts you'll ever see. He told Kim, "Don't let Kris make you do Playboy like she did Kylie and Kim." The man was direct, and he knew Kris couldn't resist when her name was dragged into the spotlight. Sure enough, that text got a reaction out of her, proving Ye knew exactly which button to push. Kanye doubled down publicly too, repeating, "Don't let Kris make you do Playboy like she made Kylie and Kim do it. Not gonna happen to North and Chicago." Now remember, Kris Jenner is the ultimate media controller. She's used to spinning narratives and protecting her empire, so being dragged into this fight didn't sit well at all. Behind the scenes, Kris actually messaged Kanye privately, pleading, "Please stop mentioning my name. I'm almost 67. This stresses me." But if Kris thought that would silence him, she had the wrong guy. Nobody ever shuts Kanye up, especially when it comes to his kids. Every single time North's name popped up, Kanye circled back to the same warning. In his head, this was a war he had to keep fighting. He believed Kim and Kris would sacrifice North's childhood for fame unless he stood in their way, and that conviction made things spiral into even messier territory. And here's where it gets wild. Kim herself admitted she never even wanted to do Playboy in the first place. She said she was nervous, hesitant, and flat out uncomfortable. But it was Kris who gave her the push. Kim once explained it like this: "I was uncomfortable. My mom said, 'Go for it. They might never ask you again. Our show isn't on the air yet. No one knows who you are.'" That push ended up being the launch pad for the Kardashian brand that took over pop culture. Now Kanye uses that moment as proof. If Kris could convince Kim when she didn't even want it, what's stopping her from doing the exact same thing to North? To him, this isn't paranoia. It's history repeating itself, and he refuses to watch it play out again. Do it, and you'll have these beautiful pictures to look at when you're my age. That's what Kris Jenner told Kim, and against her own hesitation, Kim gave in. She posed, the photos dropped, Keeping Up with the Kardashians blew up, and history was made. But years later, Kim admitted it was one of her biggest regrets, the kind of regret that haunted her image for decades. And of course, Kanye West never let that go. To him, Kris pushing Kim into Playboy was the ultimate proof that North could be forced down the same road if he didn't step in. Now fast forward to those Rome photos of North going viral, and people are connecting the dots again. Online voices are saying Kanye's been screaming this for years. What once sounded like paranoia is starting to feel like a warning that maybe wasn't so misguided after all. But here's the messy twist. Kanye isn't exactly innocent in this story either. People can't forget that back in 2013, Kanye was reportedly all for the idea of Kim doing Playboy again. Not only that, but he was the mastermind behind some of her most sexualized looks. Remember the infamous Mugler wet dress that literally broke the internet? That dripping, body-hugging look was Kanye's vision from start to finish. He wanted Kim to be the sex symbol, the ultimate icon, the woman everybody stared at. But then, everything flipped.
You are my wife, and it affects me when pictures are too sexy.
By 2019, on the very night of the Met Gala, Kanye suddenly confronted Kim about looking too sexy in front of other men.
This transition where from being a rapper, like looking at all these girls and looking at my wife, like, oh, my girl needs to be just like the other girls, showing her body off, showing this, showing that. And I didn't realize that that was affecting like my soul and my spirit as someone that's married and loved and the father of like now with about to be 4 kids. Of course, it's like a formal underwear. It's hot. It's like, it's hot for who?
So like the night before the Met, you're going to come in here and say that you're not into a corset bag. Giving you really bad anxiety. What are you talking about?
Why is that giving you anxiety to say that?
Because you knew last night I was having really bad anxiety and I don't need any more negative energy for you to now say that you're not into me wearing a tight dress.
The same man who styled her, who pushed her into risque looks for years, was now criticizing her for actually embracing that image in public. Talk about whiplash. Kim wasn't staying silent, though. She clapped back hard, reminding him that he was the one who built her confidence in the first place. She told him he couldn't just rip it all away because he decided to change. And she wasn't wrong. The hypocrisy was hard to ignore. Kanye had no problem basking in Kim's image when it boosted his brand, but once it clashed with his new persona, suddenly he condemned it. That back and forth exposed just how complicated their dynamic really was. To some, it looked like love and control were blurring together. Kanye shaping Kim into a fantasy, then scolding her when she lived it out too boldly. And now, with North stepping into the spotlight, people are asking if the cycle is repeating once again. Only this time with their daughter caught in the middle. And we can't forget about Kanye's new wife, Bianca Censori. When the world learned he was handpicking her jaw-dropping outfits and parading her barefoot on the streets, people were stunned. The same man warning against exploitation was suddenly styling Bianca in see-through bodysuits and skin-tight fits that had cameras chasing her everywhere. To critics, it just didn't add up. How could he scream about protecting his own daughter while turning another woman into a walking spectacle for headlines? One viral comment summed it up. Kanye might say he's against this, but he's been devaluing women the whole time. And that's where the public really split. On one side, people blasted Kanye as a hypocrite, accusing him of rewriting history to look like a protective dad after years of shaping Kim into his own idea of a sex symbol. On the other side, fans argued hypocrisy or not, he still had a valid point when it came to North, because the facts can't be denied. Kim admitted Kris pushed her into Playboy, and now North is stepping out, dressed like she's grown before her time. That Rome dinner wasn't seen as a casual night out. It was branded a carefully staged paparazzi moment. Critics accused Kim of running Kris's old playbook, swapping her daughter's privacy for media buzz the same way Kris once did with her. The anger online has been loud, with many outright calling it exploitation. The fear? That North could end up like Kylie, growing up way too fast, too exposed, and too molded by the Kardashian brand before she even gets a chance to live like a normal kid. One comment hit hard. This is exactly what Kanye was scared of. And honestly, it's hard to ignore how close that feels to reality. But it's not just Kim under fire. A whole other group is calling out both parents. They argue Kim loves the spotlight North brings, while Kanye's public rants aren't about protection at all. They're about control. To these critics, Kanye doesn't look like a caring father. He looks like a hypocrite using his daughter for clout just as much as Kim is. Now the debate has exploded into a bigger question. Who's really protecting North and who's just cashing in on her name? At this point, it's not even about North's safety. It's about Kanye's never-ending war with Kim and Kris. And sadly, his own daughter has become a pawn on their chessboard. Let's be real. Kanye is messy, inconsistent, and yes, flat-out hypocritical at times. But he might still be onto something here. North is 12. She's just a kid, and she deserves to be treated as one. There's absolutely no reason for Kim to have her stepping out styled like a grown woman, unless there's a bigger plan to fast-track her into the spotlight. And if that's the case, that's scary, because childhood doesn't come back once it's gone. No matter how anyone spins it, it's impossible to ignore how young she is, and how fast she's being pushed into a world that chews kids up before they're even grown. The sad truth is, North's childhood isn't private anymore. Every outfit, every hairstyle, every paparazzi snap sparks an online debate. Some people brush it off, saying she's just copying her mom and experimenting with fashion like any kid might. But others say this is way different. This is a child being robbed of her innocence, thrown into a spotlight she never asked for, and that's heartbreaking. Because at the end of the day, North isn't just Kim's daughter or Kanye's daughter. She's a 12-year-old girl stuck in the middle of one of the messiest feuds Hollywood has ever seen. Kim wants her polished, styled, and photographed. Kanye wants her hidden, protected, and off the stage. But the gag is, while they both swear they're doing what's best, what they're really doing is dragging her deeper into their fight. Imagine how hard it must be, having parents who can't stand each other, while the entire world watches you become the battleground for their war. North never asked for this, but now every move she makes is magnified, criticized, and politicized in the never-ending Kim versus Kanye saga. And trust me, this storm isn't settling anytime soon. So drop your thoughts in the comments, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.